9 a.m. on the island of Maui, and I am making a matcha bulletproof latte today. Sugar-free, fatty, keto approved matcha latte. I've got my 8 ounces of water. This video right now looks like a whole bunch of product placement. Basically, I'm going to tell you what I use to make my bulletproof coffee or bulletproof matcha lattes in the morning. So Bulletproof is a company owned by Dave Asprey, and Bulletproof Coffee has really gained popularity, but really it stems from his recipe, and he has a whole company of products featured on Bulletproof. I personally use both of his Brain Octane Oil, which is his MCT oil, as well as his grass-fed butter Ghee, which is basically clarified butter, but I get it from him because I don't buy it from the store, and I thought it would be a really good thing to add to my order. Both of these are ingredients in the matcha latte we're going to make today. Brain Octane Oil and other forms of MCT oil are basically certain triglycerides from coconut oil. If you want to use coconut oil, you're perfectly fine, as well as sugar-free vanilla syrup. Personally, I prefer the Monin brand. It's M-O-N-I-N. I'm sorry about the label. It got damaged here. But M-O-N-I-N, this company does really good sugar-free flavors that don't taste like diet, as well as Da Vinci. This is an almond-flavored syrup, so I won't be using this today, but Da Vinci is another really good brand. You can see here sweetened with Splenda. These companies both have really good sugar-free syrups that don't taste like diet. And who wants their coffee in the morning to taste like it's diet? You want it to taste good. That's why you're consuming it. So besides that, also just want to throw this in here. A lot of people don't know you can buy Starbucks syrups. This whole bottle was like $12, and you can walk into Starbucks and buy any of their sugar-free syrups instead of spending $6 on a latte every time you go. So my flavor recommendation would definitely be the cinnamon dolce. It's the one that, again, tastes the least sugar-free. It tastes like a regular cinnamon dolce latte from Starbucks. And then also our last ingredient will be heavy whipping cream. This is just a local brand here in Hawaii, but heavy whipping cream. So I start off with 8 ounces of water, and then for the matcha, this is just a brand I got on Amazon. It's like a small little packet, but you really don't use that much. A little bit goes a long way. And matcha is essentially green tea leaves that have been kind of pulverized into a powder. You cannot see that. Barely can see it. You'll see it when I put it in the cup. But so a little bit goes a long way. This is a really small packet, as you can see, but really a serving size is a half of a teaspoon, which is only like this much, tiny little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and microwave my water. I put about 1 cup or 8 ounces of water into a mug and heat that up until it's pretty hot. I mean, my microwave, it's just 1 minute, but do whatever you use for hot water, and then we'll be right back after that. Okay, so I'm back with my cup of hot water, and to that I'm going to add a half of a teaspoon of the green tea matcha powder. Just kind of level that off there, and then right into the hot water. It tends to kind of, I guess, cook it and drop to the bottom. That's actually really cool on camera. That's awesome. So that's going to turn this like a little green color. And this is really similar if you've had the matcha green tea lattes from Starbucks, or if you've had, I think it's like a matcha green tea blast from Jamba Juice. That's essentially what this is. So I think it's delicious. It tastes like chlorophyll. I've heard people say it tastes like grass. I personally think it's delicious. So half a teaspoon of matcha powder in there. And then the next ingredient I'm going to add is going to be 1 tablespoon of ghee, that clarified butter. I probably won't add a whole tablespoon. Maybe I'll add like half of a tablespoon. I do the ghee first because it's butter and it's solid. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. And because it's butter, it'll kind of melt in the hot water, and I can kind of stir that in and then still use the tablespoon measure for the MCT oil and also for the sugar-free vanilla syrup. I'll take this moment while the butter is melting to tell you guys that this is my matcha latte, but I also buy the little instant packets from Starbucks, and this is the Pike Place roast. It's like a light blonde roast. It doesn't have too strong of a coffee flavor, but I'll buy one of these little instant packets and I'll do the exact same thing. Instead of a 1/4 teaspoon of this, maybe I'll pour a little coffee packet in there, and then I'll do the exact same thing with whatever sugar-free flavor I'm feeling for the day. Starbucks also has something called an Earl Grey London Fog, and that's something I used to drink before. So I do have Earl Grey Tea. Sometimes I'll make Earl Grey Tea in the hot water, and then I'll go ahead and add vanilla simple syrup, heavy whipping cream, butter and MCT oil, and make a bulletproof London Fog latte, like a tea latte. I will tell you, if you're doing the tea latte, definitely let the tea bag steep and then take it out. Otherwise, all of the good oils and butters and everything will kind of just get saturated in the tea bag. Last option for you would be like a bulletproof chai. If you wanted to use a chai tea bag, I would not use the chais that come in the carton because they tend to have lots of added sugar in them. So, but I mean, kind of experiment, find out what you like, and you can make all sorts of things with this recipe. So butter has melted in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of the Brain Octane Oil. I like this because your body really just eats it up. It's a really good source of fat, and also I get a lot of mental clarity benefits from it. I feel like my brain just works better on it. I guess that's why he named it Brain Octane Oil. Warning, fair disclosure about any MCT oil is that it does tend to, you have to kind of work up a tolerance to it. Otherwise, if you just put a tablespoon of oil into your morning drink and you're not used to consuming it, apparently it can cause some gastric distress. That is all I will say about that. Okay, now moving forward. I'm gonna do vanilla in my matcha today. So this is the sugar-free Monin vanilla syrup. I don't think I need a full tablespoon. I usually add like 3 capfuls. So I'm gonna do a half of a tablespoon and then put that in there. And the last ingredient is going to be the heavy whipping cream. So there's about 1 gram of carbs per tablespoon, and I add in 4 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. So essentially, after this whole thing, the matcha has really minimal carbs that I wouldn't count, but with my 4 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, this is going to have 4 grams of carbs. So this whole drink will be 4 carbs, but it's going to taste absolutely delicious. All right, so everything is inside, and I can kind of give it a stir. It's not going to completely mix together. So the next thing I do is I bought this fancy thing off of Amazon, and it's like a little coffee stirrer thing. It's amazing. It'll mix everything together and emulsify it, and then it gives you like this little froth on top. So that's the last step. It really doesn't take that long, you guys. It's pretty impressive to be able to make something this delicious that doesn't cost me $6 every morning. So I would highly recommend it. Try this recipe. If you have something else that you've been doing, please let me know. I'd be more than interested in trying a new recipe. Go ahead and experiment on your own, and I'd be interested to see what kind of things you guys come up with. One popular variation would be, instead of the heavy whipping cream, to use coconut milk. That's 100% doable. You just want to check the calorie information on the side there. But in any case, I kind of mix this up, and then if I pull this out a little bit, you can kind of hear that noise it makes. It kind of makes a froth on top, and I really love that. So that's it. Pretty quick and simple, you guys. This is my matcha green tea latte. I don't want to dump it on you, but on the camera, but essentially this is the finished product. It is super creamy and frothy, which is why I love that little coffee blender, because it gives you that little bit of a fluff on top. That's it for this morning. I have to get ready to go to work, but I'm gonna enjoy this. Hopefully you guys try it. Let me know what you think.